Happy Friday, Niagara Graffiti.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back for another Friday episode of Niagara Graffiti with Shawn and Tim. I'm your host, Shawn Levick. I'm over here is my good buddy, Tim.
The bald guy. Let me know if you're getting too much glare off of my head. Got a little haircut today. And we got our good friend, Mr. Dante Miles, running for city council. How's it going, Dante?
Man, I'm good, man. Glad to be here, bro.
Thank you for coming, Dante. Appreciate you accepting the invitation.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm looking on our Facebook thing here. We got a feed that says we got Judge-elect El5 joining Shawn and Tim. That's not correct. we got Mr. Dante Miles. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Looking at the wrong one, Tim.
No, I'm sharing the one now. We're live. We got two viewers on here, and I don't see who the viewers are. It's not showing me who the viewers are. Well, whoever those two mystery viewers are, one of them's probably me. Oh, we got three. We're getting up there now.
He's changing it up.
Yeah. Let's start off and let's announce our little contest we got going on. What do you say?
All right. Well, yeah. Me and Tim put together a little contest before we get into chopping it up with Mr. Miles over here. We went and got a 4-sub.
It's a gift certificate. It's a $50 gift certificate, which will cover 4 subs, full-size subs from none other than Maloney's Deli over here across the street from us at 8662 Buffalo Avenue. Say hi to Chantel. Tell her Tim and Shawn sent you. But we went over. We got a $50 gift certificate, and we're going to I don't know, what's our contest we want to do?
I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 500 likes to the page.
So whoever gets that 500th like gets a $50 gift card.
And we're going to break it up. So if you invite people to the page and the person comes on and says, all right, I'm the 500th like. And what we want to know is who invited that person to the page. And we're gonna go ahead and split the sub package between the two people.
Hell no, let's get another one. Let's get another one. Well, if nothing else, we'll at least buy them one free sub.
Yeah.
Something. We'll figure something. We'll do something for them. Maybe we'll give them a ride in Tim's new car. Maybe we give them a ride in Tim's new car.
I don't think Tim can. Jackson might be able to fit in that new car. I was so happy he didn't pull up with that damn car. You know what? Let's go ahead and cue it up, Peter. We pull up that.
Roll the beautiful bean footage.
That beautiful bean footage.
Standing by. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy. Oh, just a look at that. The happy dog. Oh, just a happy dog.
Let's get to the reason why we're here today.
Shawn, you got too much time on your hands, buddy.
Way too much time. I got to try to get away from Jackson and Aries for a few minutes out of the day. Thankfully, Melissa allows me to play around on my phone. But again, we'd like to welcome our good friend, Mr. Dante Miles, Niagara Falls City of Niagara Falls City Council candidate.
Thank you, man.
I
Appreciate
gotta
it.
get my wording out and start letting it flow out a little bit easier.
It's all good. I get tongue-tied, too, when I'm talking about it.
It becomes simple. It happens easily. But you know what? One thing, though, is that you have been building your public speaking. And that's one thing that I've always admired, that you're quick to go up to city council meetings over the years. And it's not even after you went through your last race and you came really, really close to you turned a lot of heads in that last race. You were consistent after the fact.
Yeah.
And then that's one thing that I wanted to point out front and center is how Niagara Falls always has a voice when you're at a city council meeting. Same with Tim.
Well, he's been at the council meetings for a lot longer than when he was before he announced that he was a candidate.
Yeah, way before.
I mean, yeah. I've known Dante at council meetings for years now, and you know, I was glad to see him get involved and run the last time, and I'm super stoked to see you get involved this time and stay involved because I think you have a good heart. You got You're kind of like me. You've got the taxpayers in mind. You've got your neighborhoods and your residents in mind more than a political party.
Right.
And I really expect to see a lot of good things out of you. I've seen a lot of good things so far, and I expect to see a lot more, whether you win or lose.
Right.
You know, last time when you came up short, but you still stayed involved.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you still go to council meetings. And that's one of the things that peeves me is, you know, when you get these people, you can always tell when it's time to run for elections, because then you'll start seeing new faces showing up at the council meeting.
Right.
And I'm just like, I just roll my eyes when I see them. I'm like, okay, you're a candidate, so now you're going to start showing up. Where the hell you been for the last 10 years when we've been here in the trenches trying to get council to, you know, do things to, you know, explain things, to be transparent. And you are one person, like I said, that I've talked to you many years going to the council meetings, and I'm glad to see you around, and I hope you do good things. I told you before, you are a friend of mine, and I will help you in a way I can.
I appreciate it.
I took some heat over that, and I'll still take the heat over, because, like I said, I don't choose my friends over politics.
That's right.
I will absolutely help you 100%.
I certainly appreciate it, man, and I appreciate sharing the podium with y'all, man. I mean, that's the thing about it is, there are different types of families you gather in the process of doing what it is that we do. There's people just out in the community, and then there's people that fight the same type of fight. You know what I mean? And sometimes we may not have always agreed at the podium, but at the end of the day, we understand that if we fast forward that tape to the end, we fighting for the same goal. We're
Absolutely.
still going to end up at the same place.
You got to come to a compromise, common grounds on a
That's
lot of
right.
things, even if you disagree at the beginning. You know, it's that the important thing is that, and I think it's more so. I don't want to say the certain council members that don't have children can't relate to the certain things that me, you, Tim, or other individuals that do have roots here. You know, that are grounded with the family system here, and we see things in a lot of different lights. You know, and
We live the same struggles every day.
Right.
We got the wrong number up here, guys. We're going to have a call in on 716-990-3934. If anybody's got any questions and wants to call in and ask Dante any questions, we do have the phone on here.
so let's go over what is some of Dante's, if you're willing to share, strategy.
During this whole campaign,
Opposed to the last time around. Do you see yourself pushing a lot more, or do you see yourself in a position where you got your message out, but you just want to go back and touch base with individuals about it?
for the most part, my message is still the same, and you know, I've learned a lot, you know, due to the last campaign. However, I do believe that, like, because my fuel and the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is yet the same. You know what I mean? It never was a campaign slogan. That's why I continued after the loss, because I'm like, my kids' future still matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely.
just because, you know, I didn't make it across the finish line, you know, doesn't mean that these issues are going to go away.
Yep.
You didn't stop trying to bring on change, even though you weren't still a candidate.
Right.
And then that goes back to what you were saying. Once,
Right.
you know, a lot of candidates, after they're done, they disappear. They won't say any names, but you know, hopefully one will be packing up. They're moving out of town after. I'm gonna leave it at that. But
We might help
you know,
you.
and that is an important aspect about you. That's the difference between you and a lot of people that are on there. You know what I'm saying? You come from a different background. You come from a different area of the city that a lot of the people that are sitting on the city council,
Right.
you know, are at. Besides the obvious that you are an African American male from downtown Niagara
What?
Falls.
What is he?
I don't
Come
even.
on.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
that.
know I'm gonna get home. Miles was gonna be like, I know you didn't just say that word.
I didn't know that.
Listen, and
Wow.
I wake up and go to sleep this way.
Yeah,
It's-
you know,
but I get, you know, honestly, that's the real portion of it too. You know what I mean? That I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That there is a level, and it's not just, I'm not a black face, nor am I a party.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part that, I think that's what I push hard, because I'm like, listen, I'm registered what I'm registered. I've been registered that since I first registered to vote the first day. You know what I mean? And I always say that I'm a person and not a party. You know, just check my, if you want to know if I'm serious about what I'm doing, check my track record and see what I stood up and fought about.
I've always found you to be socially liberal, facially conservative.
Right.
You know, because you are very mindful about where the dollars go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all know that you can't pay for programs, get programs out without a revenue source. So you've always had that mindset the same way that I've always had about broken windows, and economic development, and community engagement, and how important that is as far as if we're not filling up city council chambers, we don't have a seat at the table
at all. That's the realistic portion of it, because I think that's the insanity that our city has been practicing for so many decades, is that, again, I was talking to the guys earlier, we squeak where there's no oil.
Yeah.
We'll get on social media, we'll call friends and family and cousins and relatives, and and we're squeaking about issues where we're not going to the source. We're not going where these decisions are being made.
You got to go where they can be dealt with,
Right.
where you can make the change at.
That's why I posted the rest of your schedule on the action page on that post, and you commented underneath it. Look, you got to go where the oil is at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the truth, because if we're not there, then all the decisions are out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
And it just continues. The pattern continues, because it is only 5, 6, 7, whatever 5 council members, 7 administration members. It's only the ideals are left to them.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about some of the growth I'm seeing going on. I believe I shared the Blue Cardinal thing yesterday, where they're pushing forward. They found somebody to fix the roof for the old Gents building, I think I seen. And then that was just going back and I don't go on the Gazette. I should probably actually start reading the Gazette more if I plan on.
Do they print the Gazette anymore? Does it get printed?
I think Chris prints it out of his basement.
Okay. I thought that was one of the things that got cut when they were in the red. And I know there's no Tuesday paper though.
There was never a Tuesday paper. But as I was going back through researching about you, and I look at a lot of it, and besides a co-coordinator, I don't like the word activist. I don't know why. Most people, I've seen a couple times where you've been on a show and somebody's like, oh, community activist. Well, he's a community member. He's first and foremost, and I'm sure I could speak for you even in this instance. If the man is a father, he's not an activist. He's a father.
Right.
And that's the most important thing. Then when people say that to me, you can go out and be active. Does that make you an activist? If we took away Facebook, how many activists would we really have?
Oh my God!
And I'm not referring to you, because I've seen you out there with the Peacemakers. I've seen you doing, your community work, and I've seen you in all over the damn place, really. And
Community barbecues,
city council meetings, 2, 3 years, 4 years before you even considered running.
Right.
And in a lot of ways, we don't have that with a lot of I'm not going to even pick on Abadanza. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Who's that?
I won't do it only because I just don't want
You'd be on your best behavior.
I don't want the next meeting for the Democratic members to be like, you let them do, you can't let them do that. But and that's how a lot of things work. And I know that you're not an individual that allows a party to say, Dante, you got to follow these.
Right.
It's Dante's way, or you can just go on about your own merry business.
That's my thing. I don't kowtow to a soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe in saying what I mean and meaning what I'm saying, what I say. And listen, I've had my situation, I'll call it that, with my party. I mean, I'm a straight shooter, and I understand what that looked like. Yeah. So there's no one that could say Dante has to go our way. At the end of the day, it's up to Niagara Falls. It's up to the voting population of our city And they're going to make the decision. There's not a party. There's not a committee. None of that is going to make the decision except on November 2nd. Yeah. And then I give Niagara Falls the opportunity to say, hey, we either want you to represent us or we don't. And guess what? There is no hard feelings because I'm going to still be out here. Listen, City Hall still will have to deal with me one way or the other.
They still deal with me.
I don't know if they, right, exactly. And I don't know if I'm like I don't know if it's even, they probably would want me on that bench because I bring fire. I don't mind bringing it. That's
it's a different tone once you're on the other side.
Right, but I tell you what, not all the way. For me, and maybe we're here. No, you're not hearing it first on here, but I'm making it very on record, is that you're not going to get what looks like a city councilman. Or the city councilman that you're used to seeing on city council.
In a lot of ways, I believe Ezra, he was up, and it's the way you do things is the way things need to be done. Mm-hmm. It's not let me sugarcoat this bullshit and get it out and get people to clap and this and that. What you say is, I've said it before to Tim, it's a very emotionally based message.
It's real.
Consistently. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm at home right now. They reconvene on the 1st.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I posted every event or an event for every council meeting.
Yep.
But that very first one, I've been working on a letter at home about just getting a street renamed for Tesla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been circulating that.
And I signed as well. Put that out there.
Let me ask you, Dante, what do you... Now, there's going to be 3 new council members. Mm-hmm. We asked this on a couple other people. Kenny, we got, Kenny Tompkins is going to be the senior guy on council, and he's only been on there. This is his 2nd term. Mm-hmm. You still got John Spanbauer that's still in the middle of his 1st term. There's going to be 3 of you on there. All 6 people that are running. Nobody is a former council member. Nobody's been in any of this stuff.
Fresh blood.
How do you feel... Do you think that you're going to be able to be effective, to be able to work with everybody, no matter who it is, in order to get things done? I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you because I want you to give an answer.
Yeah, right.
Good question.
I do one. I can work with I can work with anyone. I feel like I've never met a stranger. I feel like I can. I just don't go along just to get along, though.
Yeah.
So for me, that's where if that happens, then that's where the problem will come in because I know how to be critical when need be.
Yeah.
A critical thinker, I know how to be that when need be. Here's what, and it goes back to what Shawn was saying earlier, is to get some things done, if the people don't start showing up, I don't see to what I would like to see happening as far as change, as far as just really momentum, and at least seeing that ball start to move. If the people don't get engaged and show up in these spaces of decision making, I don't, and that's my campaign really right now, is to really try
to get them involved.
I'm telling everybody that's watching on here, on my show, when I'm out in the streets, I'm telling everybody, Dante can't change Niagara Falls. Mm-hmm. You can't vote me in and then just walk away. Right. So to answer that question is, yes, I can, but we all have, and we don't have to speak the same language, and we're not always going to agree. But let's make sure that whatever you bring to the table has the betterment of our city right in front. Yeah. The betterment of our citizens and our community.
Of the whole.
Right, of the whole. And it has to be healthy because we can't be all one way. At the end of the day, a lot of decisions, some of the decisions are going to be very unpopular. But if I can see that this decision has to be made, and I sit down, and here's the other portion about me. See, because I'm about community, but I'm also about community when it comes down to like even the agenda items and things like that. I don't need to be the only eyes looking at it. Sometimes I'm gonna need some iron to sharpen me and say, okay, well, what I might be missing something here. So check this out. I'll have a table full of people saying, okay, let's look at this. Now, I think that this could work, or maybe I don't think it could work. Show me where it could or where it couldn't.
Or if it can't, what can we do?
And
to
what
make
can we
it
do
work?
to make it work? That's the thing about it, because we can talk about what's wrong, but we need to have solutions and ideas, right?
Well, in a lot of ways,
Voting yes or no is easy.
That's too easy.
The biggest and the best solutions I've always found, and I've said it before, and people laugh about it. They're usually found in chaos. When you have a bunch of people that just don't agree and are willing to talk to each other, at least, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we can figure this out. You know, yeah, you might come to the unpopular decision, which is the most effective and best decision. But as long as it's progress, you know, it adds progress.
Right.
A, B, it's better for everybody, you know, health wise or, you know, quality of life wise or whatever. The more people that are in there arguing about that, the best.
More likely
solution.
you're hearing ideas,
Yeah,
different
fine.
ideas.
It's different ideas.
We're not stuck in our own head. That's the thing, and I think that's one of the biggest things, one of the issues that we've dealt with in our local government is that
Echo chambers.
Right, because we have a community of people who feel like, oh, well, we trust them, we voted them in, they're gonna make the right decision, and there's no one challenging their thought, and they're making decisions like this.
Nobody's holding them accountable.
And the worst thing that anybody in the community can say is that's not my job. I've literally fired people from restaurants for saying that shit to me, and it happens a lot. You know, and that's the bad part about it is, especially people they go to the polls or, you know, and they vote and they're like, all right, well, I'm gonna vote for such and such. My job is done here. You know, or I'm gonna post this on Facebook. I really hate to tell y'all, but I highly doubt Mayor Rustino's going, God, let me check these Facebook messages.
Not happening.
He
We
doesn't
open
even
up
do his
this
own Facebook
Budweiser.
posts.
Right.
He's got a public information officer who does his post for him.
I'm gonna leave that girl alone.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because Dante understands, from the years that I've known Dante, is that he's not a one-man show. He's not the savior for the city. Dante's one that gets people motivated, gets people engaged. And that's one of the things I like. You know, like I said, I mean, not only are you a personal friend, but you are somebody that I think will do very well and somebody that I'm supporting just for the simple fact you come from the area that you represent the people. You don't give a crap about, you know, the political ideas or anything like that. We got to move the city forward. And you know what? One step at a time, whether it be a big step, little step, whatever. As long as we're moving forward, we're moving. And that's what we've got to do.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to remember what year it was. It was right after Ez won his council seat. And I was talking to him, and he went on it's on the Vincenello show, and I remember calling in, and we discussed something back then that Dante brings to the table, and I said kind of part of it earlier. It's emotional intelligence, because you're able to empathize with other people. At the same time, if you can't empathize with other people, you're willing to say, listen, I don't know about this, but educate me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the important thing, because I mean, you got certain council members that are real condescending little dudes, and that's not a healthy attitude to have towards people that you're making decisions for.
And the other thing too about Dante is he's got a podcast. He's in the Peacemaker, so he's out in the community. He's always available. He's always active. Every time I've called him, he answers the phone. We asked him to come on here. He came on here. Obviously, he's not
and I didn't
hiding
have to
anybody.
harass him like I did Janelle Faso. You know, it was just, hey, what's up, brother? Hey, let me know. Yeah, sure, let's do this.
You know, that's one thing that I like.
That's what it was. Let's do this.
You know, you've got to stay accessible, and I don't think you're going to change that once you get elected. I don't think you're going to hide behind the door, or
I don't
not answer the
believe-
phone or anything.
No,
I don't
not at all.
believe that it's possible. You know, like I said, I did a little bit of research. I've known you for 5?
At least, yeah.
Roughly 5,
Around
6
5
years.
years,
Be
yeah.
reasonable. But it was more of in a political sense, and besides our personal correspondence back and forth to each other, you know, I don't see that. You know, it's not like coming from out of a different place. You like I said, your family's, you're rooted here.
Right.
Your mom's is here. Your children are
my
here.
dad, yeah.
You went to Hyde Park School. You went to
Right.
Maple Avenue, Gaskill.
Yeah.
Graduated from Niagara Falls High School.
Absolutely.
You're a musician with your own band, a trio, and
Yep.
other local bands, and it's that
He
connectivity.
lives next to a hurricane-proof house.
Yeah, and, man, he brings damn pictures. The only community member that I've seen bring pictures, and his daughter carries pictures in almost every council meeting when he has a point to make. It's this is what I'm dealing with, and y'all got to see it now too.
Because
it's-
it's with that. I've just again a lot of times I feel like a lot of the council and administration sometimes just don't even pretend to be engaged. And I'm like, it feels like it's going in one ear and out the other. So when that happens,
Been frustrating for years because of that.
and I seen the frustration. I've watched it with you as well. It's just like, and I'm watching, and I'm watching the condescending type, responses. People looking like you're speaking in some type of foreign language.
Yep.
Oh my God, what is he talking
Candy
about?
Crush Saga with her little bobblehead self.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that was a meeting that we talked.
Yeah.
At. You remember that?
Yep.
When you brought it up and was like,
I was
"Why
like,
does she
yo,
look
she's
like
not
that?"
even just no.
She's all.
The one time she posted when Hibbard's was opening up over in Lewiston. It was posted during a council
during
meeting.
the council meeting.
Because I had the time when it was actually posted. I'm like, look at this. We're in a council meeting. I had video of this woman sitting there. And
She is the
She
whole
was
reason why we
cut
have
from
an
a different
STR
cloth.
problem.
she was cut from a different cloth.
If the STRs were started back then and handled properly, we wouldn't have the problem with the STRs that we have now. And it's kind of for me, we've talked about it on the first show.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword with me. You got to be very, very careful because even now, I posted something earlier where the cost of properties have already went up 59% in Niagara Falls.
I get calls all the time about people just cold calling me wanting to buy my houses.
Yeah, and you're right
Because I'm
there.
right in the middle of the area.
Yeah, you got a gorge view
It's
too.
it's lovely because they're like, have you ever thought about selling your house? Well, if you make me a good enough offer, I'll think about selling it. Well, have you ever thought about selling? Well, no, but if you make me a good enough offer, and the lady gets very frustrated with me, and I'm just like, well, look, you called me. What are you offering?
Right.
You say you're going to make a cash offer. What's your offer?
Right.
Don't give it too long because pretty soon you might have people coming at you talking about I'll give you $759,000 per house.
I am not going anywhere.
That's what happened between here and Toronto. Them places started going for $3.2 million on a $320,000 house.
I like the city. I don't really care for the way it's looking right now, but I'm involved to try and make it better. And you know what? I'm not going. I have no intention to going anywhere.
Yeah.
I work for the city. I like the city. I raised my kids in this city.
I'm just trying to get rich quick, and then I'm moving back to North Carolina.
Dante, what kind of
do
events you got
remote
coming up?
podcasts.
Okay, so I have my team. They're actually trying to get this as like a basket auction type
I ain't get a call to be on that team.
I didn't either, and we're friends, man.
I ain't get a call to be on that team.
Well, you know what happened is it was Mary Tillman. I shoot her a line out right now. She's such a sweetheart. They just was like, hey, we want to do something for you. Okay, so some of her lady friends, they pulled me in the meeting, and they're like, listen, we got this. So I'm like, okay, so that's something I will have. I want to say by mid next week, I should have, the flyers, should have the details and everything like that. And also what I am going to do is I'm going to reach back out to Betty's because they told me I could. And I want to have another pancake breakfast. The tickets will, and it's a fair, nice amount of food.
Fair. That shit was enough to.
I missed it last time.
That shit was enough to kill a fat dude off of one order. There was like orange juice and apple juice.
And pancakes, bacon, sausage, and eggs. And
bottomless
All right,
mimosa.
all right.
Oh
Enough
yeah,
of the
that's
food.
the $25 one.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on? It's
$25
pancakes
ticket.
and sausage?
Yeah. Listen,
Man, listen.
the $25 ticket is the one that give you the bottomless mimosas. So there'll be someone at their bar area that will be taking care of those. So I'm going to do that again because one, it was such an event that was it's really mingled. It was very like the atmosphere was very friendly.
Good vibe, yeah.
Good vibe. Everybody was just kind of chilling.
It wasn't
and that's what
just
I like.
some stuffy little political fundraiser. type
Right. No, it's our local business that and that's one thing I really care about because I do believe that it is a lifeline of our community anyway, and our city needs to start treating them a little bit better, especially if you want other people to come and build. But it was definitely, I like that event. So that will be another one that will be coming up once I get all of the details together because true story is there are yard signs and things like that that's going to, they're not going to buy themselves.
Oh, no, it's inexpensive.
Right.
And another thing that you're very deep in that I tend to catch you when you're playing when you're at the church playing. You're religious. Your religious background.
I'm spiritual.
Spiritual. That's probably a better word.
I'm not religious. I tell anybody, I believe because what happens is the religion, for me, religion is what separates us.
Yes.
I believe that religion is the thing religion is the Jim Crow.
It's basically
that just pulls everybody apart. I'm this and you're that, and let's not talk.
Politics is appearing to be the new religion.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
That's basically what it's going.
It is.
When monarchies were in power, the church took over and it became a religious sect thing where you got the different religions, and now we're seeing an evolution, if you will, from religion to politics. You know, so and I wonder if it's a cycle because the same kind of cycle happened during ancient Greece.
Right.
You know, but I always go off on this weird tangent.
That's okay.
No, but and the thing is it does turn that.
That's where I was headed with this. Yesterday, the pastors all got together. I don't know, was it Reverend Allen and
he was there.
19th and Walnut outside the coastal. My landlord's in Dubai, so I don't know. He owns the coastal.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm going to take a second to recognize some of the people we got talking to us here on Facebook. We got David Florio and Kevin Hutchinson. Hey, guys.
What's up, Kev?
We got Ohio Barb chimed in here with Grim. They're here watching. Barb seems to be a supporter of Dante. I'm not sure she really likes you, though. She just says
I love her.
Dante knows what he says, and she says hello to everybody. Hopefully Barb's doing well.
That's what I want, yeah.
Treatments are going well. Hopefully her health comes back around. We miss you, Barb. Kevin, we need to get you back around here as well. I haven't seen you in a little while.
My guy, too.
But, yeah, we also wanted to mention, too, you do your own podcast on Sundays at 5 o'clock, right? You do still do
sir.
Black Reality Unscripted?
Black Reality Unscripted. And I always tell people, don't get so scared of the word black and Black Reality Unscripted.
Yeah.
I said, because here's the thing about it. I say it's educational for some. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable for others, and then for some of us,
We need to have those uncomfortable conversations.
because it breaks down and it breaks down the walls.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and one thing that I've seen and hold on, before I even go any further, let me shout out Peter and Ohio Barb as well, because they're the ones that actually kind of kicked off Black Reality Unscripted. So anybody who's really enjoying it right now, at the end of the day, thank them, because that wasn't even on my radar at the time. I was appreciative of the opportunity, and you know, and I still got nothing but love for the both of them.
So
that's
right here.
and that's on period. So let's call that what it is before I go further. But yeah, like I think that it's the message behind it, and I'll give you where my heart was even with Black Reality Unscripted when I started, is the black community. When a lot of things happen, when there's crime, violence, and whatnot, it's very media. It's out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not really even all, because it's just a lot of it is just poverty.
But the media sensationalizes it a lot,
Right.
And makes more out of it than what really should be. I think
The media sensationalizes what they want to sensationalize
to get
Right.
people's
and
attention
not
and
the
viewers.
actual root problem.
Right.
A lot of them issues.
It's the smushing of the ants. Instead of trying to find the colony and where
Yep.
these
Where
things
it's
are coming from, we rather smush ants and just
And that's a defense mechanism for them. And I've noticed that over the last couple of years that they're pretty much like newspapers. They're on their way out because we have social media, YouTube, the third party content creators that are able to go out and still do the same research, and you know, the more realistic individuals that are willing to give that kind of local information, you know, and they're starting to panic, and they're going to say, well, we're gonna put this story together regardless of where the story starts or ends. It never is factual in a lot of cases for the media, you know, because you never see, first of all, you never see the families that are affected. You never understand the backstory. You see it from when the camera goes on. You see it from when the camera goes off.
Right.
And whatever they decide to slide in there,
The edited part.
and whatever they want people to think is where it's at. Now, if they go to the real neighborhoods where this stuff happens at, regardless of what the crime is.
Right.
And trace it, you follow the money, if you will.
Right.
Not so much money.
Go
just more
straight
of a
to the
metaphor.
source and see what the problem
You're
actually
going
is.
to find out, and in a lot of ways, they paint it with this broad paintbrush.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of it's individual issues.
Right.
And you see that as well, because it's not just your neighborhood that you shout out when
Right.
you're up at them council meetings. It's the north side, the east side, the west side, south side,
Man.
center.
Yeah.
You know, Midtown, Lacelle, DeVoe. you know,
Absolutely. I want to hold, man, I think we all do. Let me just put that really out there too. It's not about, and I said this at council to our mayor and his administration and the 5 councilmen. I said, it's not about chopping off the legs of the halves. I said, it's about restoring the have-nots.
Yep.
If you can, if it's,
Elevate everybody.
Right.
Don't knock somebody down to make them all even.
right.
Elevate
My
everybody
thing
to make them
is
even.
if the guy can, if the wall is 5 foot and he can see, he's 6 foot tall, he can see,
Yeah.
he's good. I'm not, don't mess with him. Let him be. Okay, but the next guy, he might need a foot-sized box, and then one guy might need 2 feet. But that's equity to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A hand up instead of not a hand out.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. So, I mean, that's my thing. So I want a whole Niagara Falls, a holistically healthy.
In our reality, and that's my perspective on a lot of things. Is I also sit there late at night and watch the moon, and
Make meme videos and face swaps. And
it gets even deeper than when I watch the moon, and I post a lot of the moon videos because, in all reality, I'm afraid we're going to get hit by an asteroid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that sounds weird, and a lot of people are like, oh, you know, that's the most extreme. Well, listen, I guarantee you, none of the little bullshit that we argue about now as individuals, I don't mean the big stuff, the important stuff that we need to sit down and chop up and have that discussion over. I mean the small stuff, the Karens in this grocery store that gets mad because she has to put on a mask. Put on a mask. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. The person next to you might feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Why not extend them that courtesy? Now, if they're jumping on you saying, oh, your mask is wrong, well, then you take the damn thing off and say, I tried.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a compromise. But I'm one of them people that think that what's going to happen when the government or the news tells us we have 72 days before such and such dilapia from Galaxy Z hits the country.
they're coming to get us.
You know, and destroys the entire. It's happened before.
Yeah.
There's a reason why dinosaurs ain't here no more. You know, but I think that something like that. And I always go back to the most extreme case of it. Is it going to take something like that for everybody to realize that we're all in this shit together?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and we seen something like that at 9/11. We seen something like that with what happened with Mr. Floyd.
Yeah.
We seen different people from different backgrounds, from different classes and everything come together for a certain moment. But we need that same come togetherness, that tithing,
Well, there's
but for not something that's negative.
Right.
You know what I'm
there
saying?
is somebody out there that's putting out a message like that. We've got Demetrius Nix going around the We All We Got and Stop the Black on Black Crime.
Yeah.
I know they do the School of Entrepreneurial Thought down there on 19th Street.
Right.
I've been there a couple of times, and you know something, they've got some traction going. They're actually organizing, getting things done. I've seen some of the seminars that they've done and everything like that. I know that's something that you've been a part of as well.
It's definitely for me, the school has been a breath of fresh air when it comes down to pulling community together. And from where I've grown up, that has been an issue for a long time of just people coming together. I mean, I'm talking about from the Inspiring Sisters, the women group, and let me make it that disclaimer, because some people I've gotten calls. It's like, is this just a black thing? No, absolutely not. Like, everybody is welcome from every walk of life.
I've been there myself.
People would rather read to react rather than understand.
Right, and that's the same.
Rather than reach out and say, listen, I want to know what your group is about. They'd rather say, well, it just says
Paint the picture.
It's black, it's white, it's Hispanic. It's that kind of group. I don't want nothing to do with it. Rather than saying, you know what, I want to learn.
Yeah. See, I tell people right off the muscle, go talk to Trent. Go talk to Trent Hamilton. He breaks it down the exact same way. He said, this is for everybody. This is a community. This is our own personal community center.
Community resource
You know,
center,
he was
yep.
just like, that's why they bought the podcast stuff. That's why they bought the computer stuff for the computer room. That's
That's
why
hell
they,
of a Juneteenth party too.
yeah, you
They
know,
had a real good
And-
Juneteenth
and
party.
most communities used to have that kind of hub.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's an important aspect of why we are where we're at is because we had hubs. They were just outside the reach of the people that needed them hubs.
Right.
You know, we have a cricket field way out here in the middle of nowhere. You know anybody that plays cricket, bro? I don't know.
I don't
anybody.
either. I'm sorry.
I've gone out there and watched those guys play. One of these days I'll
The
understand
only
how the
time
game
I've ever
works.
seen anything that had anything to do with cricket was Casey Jones and Ninja Turtles Part 1 when he smacked Raphael into the trash can. You know, and then that's is the point of me saying that is that there's them hubs and there's a need for them hubs, but there's also a need for
There has to be positive activities for the community to be involved in.
yeah, because it's not the size of the building. It's not big enough to facilitate the overall community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like where the Boys and Girls Club is bigger, but it's not as big
Utilized as well.
the other one that what was it? Who was running this one out here? San Quentin?
You're talking about over on 93rd, is it?
I believe that he was running a small.
Well, I think they that whole thing got closed down.
That was the
it
Lake South
the
facility.
It was
Yeah.
the Ralph.
Oh,
paid
you're
for
talking
that
on
one.
Oh
66th
no, you're
Street.
talking about next to the next to the school.
Next to
Yes,
the Catholic
yeah,
school
yeah,
there.
yeah. That
Okay,
one.
yeah. I remember he was running that. Yeah.
Look where it's at.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. Look where it's at. It's in. I'm not saying that it doesn't serve a purpose. It does serve a purpose, but my kids ain't going all the way out
And
there.
the same here. I mean, I think that's one of the issues.
Didn't they do that with out at the Summit Park Mall? They were making a sports complex there as well.
From what I understand, that there's a lawsuit on that for back mortgage or something.
Right, but they were putting it all the way out there. You know,
I mean-
how do you get kids out there unless the parents are going to take them? That's
Yeah.
going to really cut a lot of the inner city kids out that don't maybe have transportation.
And I assume that they would consider public transportations as a means for transportations for kids to get out there. Personally, I don't like riding the bus.
And in a lot of areas that I gripe about, the bus routes are garbage.
And they're about to get even worse.
Right, a 10-minute ride is taking you an hour and 15
Yeah.
minutes. I mean, it's like
I
who's going to
shared
do that?
something earlier where we don't have a bus going to Lewiston no more.
The Discovery Shuttle goes there, doesn't
No,
it?
I mean, but the whole thing is that
Oh, the NFTA Metro
NFTA
route
used
cut?
to go from NU Mount St. Mary's to Lewiston. They no longer go to Mount St. Mary's.
I don't even think they go to Lockport anymore, do they?
Nope, they cut the
they
Lockport
cut that one out,
five,
too.
I think
five,
the
6 years
last
ago.
to go, the furthest it goes now is the N trip or something, isn't it? I think they
Yeah,
go out
it
to
goes to
N
N
trip
trip and then it turns back around.
Yeah,
But in a lot of ways, cutting it from Mount St. Mary's is it's a hospital.
yeah.
You can get somebody riding. And how many people do we get taken by private vehicle? I mean, I know that a bus isn't ideal for a gunshot victim, but
Well, we've had some issues with that ambulance company too when they've called and they said they didn't have anybody in the area.
they were sending
so
people from Buffalo and some other random
sometimes
stuff.
you got to do what you got to do in order to stop the bleeding. You know what I mean? You got to get somebody there as quick as you can, and it may not be feasible to wait for an ambulance. If it's quicker to hop in somebody's car and go.
Let me tell you, you literally hit a nail in the head. That was my little nephew. They got hidden two houses away from my house, and took before one cop car showed up. That was 12 minutes.
Yeah,
The-
I heard it on the scanner too. That was
And
ridiculous.
the car tires rolled over him. See, some people think he got hit.
Yeah,
No,
He got run over.
he got
both
pushed down
sides, bloomp, bloomp. And to say like if and my people, they were like, no, they had to pick after 2 minutes. And you're looking at him.
Yeah,
They was like, no, we're taking him. When they got him inside of the car. I had to help fold his legs. They got him there. The ambulance was still in the bay.
the bad thing about it is
How's he
is
doing
that
now?
He's doing a lot better. I'm so thankful because prior to him getting there, the last sight I seen was a lifeless because he was knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
And all you see is blood. My heart was, it was horrible. You know what I mean? It was a horrible sight. And I spoke about that, you know what I mean, as well. But he's doing a lot better. He's conscious. He's open eyes. He got the tube out of his mouth, so now they're working on his speech and everything like that because he had brain damage, slight brain damage, had some fractures in his skull, broken left hand, and his right lung is bruised. So that stuff is like healing up now, but that's our Superman.
And the person that actually hit him, that was driving the vehicle, actually stopped, right?
After my camera picked it up.
Yeah.
That car was going pretty fast because it's only
16. That block. I when I moved back here, I lived on that block. That block's always people come through Ferry, and it's like there's no such thing as Walnut, and you damn near go right into Club Joey's.
Literally, I mean, and it's like
it's happened.
Yeah, this happened right at the alley, so you know where the alley is.
Oh yeah, right
it's only a house and a building before the stop signs.
The barbershop.
Yeah, the barbershop. Yeah. So at that point, you would think that car is supposed to be kind of slowing down because it's only a house and a building. Like, is that close? So yeah, and there were no skid marks. There was no. That's how I didn't know.
No attempt to brake.
No, it happened, and when you heard it, it was bloop bloop, and then it was like, oh, let me pull over, and I was just like, yeah, and again, I'm hoping to get a couple of speed bumps put on there since they tore the street up and starting to.
They need to go ahead and finish that paving shit.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
My street looks bad, and I was like, oh yeah, they didn't. I got to look, and I was like, yo, they didn't. Look. I even messaged him. I'm like, I hope they finish that. He was like, no, they're not done yet.
I talked to the supervisor, the guy that was, I keep forgetting his name.
Hugh Leftwich.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, I talked to him. And next time you see old Big Hugh, tell him if he don't get that payloader and get that.
Man, that's a big
I got a little job that I keep teasing him with every time I talk. But
well, my street's even torn up right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I
bare bone too.
My little car can't even hardly get in the driveway without rims.
I seen that little car driving by today when I was in the shower. That shit was hilarious.
So that was one of the things that I'm actually working on because I'm like, okay, if they're not gonna, look and you see kids they're playing. If you, I'd rather you have a couple of little bumps on there. That's like, oh crap! Let me watch when I get down 16th Street.
Sometimes those potholes are actually good for the community.
At least you go, because you don't want to have to
slow down so you don't.
You're gonna mess around and get a parent that puts out spike strips.
Right.
When
I could put them shits on the shop. We could start selling them.
When they used to speed down my street, I live on a one-way street too in Ashland, and I was gonna get a baby buggy and just put a brick or a play doll in it and just push out in front of some of these people because I've noticed it was the same cars, and I'm just like you see those people, they have that plastic stick thing that's got the kid holding the flag that says slow down kids in here. You know what, it's if you've got to put one of those out, people need to slow the hell down.
Absolutely.
That it's ridiculous. You got to get to that point. And you know something? Maybe we need to slow down those cars through those residential areas and put maybe down to 25 instead of 30.
Right.
There's obviously something needs to be done.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's something maybe as a sitting council member, you may be able to push that through because
and that's something else that I wanted. Now that we're going, Tim opened it up perfectly. I was wondering how I was going to work this one in. Remember a few years back, and I just want your opinion. I don't want to know if when you're sad, if you're sad, if you plan on supporting it or anything like that. I'm not going to pry into that. What do you think about when Kenny, Councilman Tompkins, put forth that resolution about charging the state, adding the surcharge, $2 to the minute parking, whatever? How do you feel about that? Because I'm getting mixed signal, or not mixed signals. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from certain individuals that I've talked to, and I'm trying to find a downside.
I'm trying, man. Let me just put it this way: I do believe that we get raped by our state every year.
Every year, yeah.
Every single year, and I said it before, cutting taxes and spiking taxes and cutting services never sustainable for our city.
Well, then we end up with getting the roads and the way we are and the service that we get.
Right. And then we complain about them, right? So
We should just look at Tim for half an hour.
But that's the thing about it, because what we do is we cut service, we take money from here, we take money from there. We're very parochial and very narrow-minded on how we develop our city or how we gain revenue. And I guess I'm falling into a whole nother category because I'm still looking at a lot of blighted areas that's being sat on in our city by a certain redevelopment company.
NFR.
Yeah. So, I speak on that because we're talking about funds.
Oh yeah.
Well, the state needs to. We need.
Right
honestly,
now would be a good time for Mr. Trevino to see a LVT, land value tax.
Yeah.
I think that was something that was brought up, during Seth's campaign that I think would be something towards that kind of situation.
Because either
develop it
or
shit or get off the pot.
Right.
But the problem is you can't force them to do anything. You can't just go and take it away from them unless you've got some kind of a project that's shovel ready and ready.
But here's the problem, and everybody says, and I'm a free market guy. Listen, I'm a constitutional conservative. I've said it the whole time. I'm a registered Republican, but I think that they don't really have the spine in a lot of ways. And I say that, and I've said it to every Republican that I've encountered. It's not a matter of being fair or unfair. He owns the property, he's paying the taxes on the property. But what it's also causing is it's causing a stagnation of economic
it's
development.
holding the city back.
Which is affecting everybody. So that's a different situation from saying, well, he owns all this property and, we're just going to do this to him and do that to him. We're going to force him into it. What he's doing is he's forcing a lot of other people into decisions based on the fact that he owns all that property.
I feel like our city becomes punked. You know what I mean? And I'm not a punk. So my thing is okay, you're either gonna do something, because one, it's an eyesore. It's been an eyesore. You're talking about over 140 acres of land.
Yeah.
Now we talk about and then you fly it under a false advertisement banner of redevelopment.
Yeah,
when there's nothing being
there was no development.
But there's no development, and so and I don't mind talking about that portion. You know what I mean? Because for me, really, we have a money issue, and we want things to be developed, but we have all of this space
that would be
prime.
Good. Yeah,
and it's a tax base.
Yeah,
it's a base, and so it's not a part of that 70-75% that's going straight to Albany every year. We finally we can. But you're not willing, then in any other case, I promise you, they're like, if when they give stuff away for $1, you gotta have a certain amount of time before you fix this up and make sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that same type of, because if my grass grow high enough, I'm gonna get cited.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you're gonna get in trouble for us cutting it. We'll be out there cutting.
We'll be cutting it.
Let's talk about the high grass for a second. Have you guys been down Whirlpool lately?
I was down there yesterday. I walked.
What do you think that they took the parkway out and they put that really nice path in there, and they cut the grass back 6-10 foot off the thing, and then it's just a bunch. I understand
that's a natural
African
forest.
Wild
That's
grass,
a natural
whatever
forest
you want to call it. You know something? That is horse shit. They were supposed to make that view better. I don't get a better view out of that.
Well, that'll come with time.
They ain't gonna cut that. That's why they put them little stumps down there and they let that grass grow 3 foot tall and then between them stumps. Why aren't they taking it? Plant some clover. It's green. It stays short. I can still see the gorge.
We get Assemblyman Marinello on here. You can go ahead and ask him.
I can't understand. I would much rather see the ugly ass white guardrail that they got to paint every 2 years. And
yeah, I would too. I don't. The aesthetics of the city are absolutely horrible, and it's something that
doesn't help improve anything.
Back in 2019, we were out there trying to do something, and then COVID
get the
hit.
blowback, and then
blowback, and then COVID. But
I didn't mean to interrupt you on your high grass story. Go ahead.
No, it's all good.
There's high grass all over. Mr. Ventry, Robert Ventry made that one post, and that's not the first time Robert Ventry's mentioned high grass.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Year after year after year, and
should go down and look at 670 Ashland Avenue. Go look at 670 Ashland Avenue. That's a beautiful site there.
I went down Piers, and there's houses off the, was that 8th? back
Yes.
there, 8th
Yep.
off of Piers.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's 6 different houses on that back area between, Willow. Between Willow and, I don't remember what street it is. It's over by DiCamello's, the old DiCamello's. And the grass is up.
They finally cut the grass over by the Carnegie Building on Main Street, though.
Yeah, I seen that, but they didn't do a great job. That shit looks like they went through with a hand weed whacker. and
It's
did it.
actually a parking lot.
Yesterday, they had that in that event. I went down yesterday when it first started kicking off down there, Thursdays and Thirds, and this is going into another aspect of your life. You're a musician.
Yeah.
Bass.
Yeah, bass and keys.
Bass
More
and
so
keys.
bass though. I toured on the bass, Miller and the Other Sinners. That's my go-to because it's just I love the rhythm section. That's just been my thing. But keys make me money though. I ain't gonna- right.
Yeah, I've seen you playing organ. I believe.
Yes.
Organ
Yes.
playing it. So that's another wonderful aspect that you bring to the table is that your love for music and entertainment.
Right. We're lacking that. And when
We
I say
are.
that, I say because I've been, and I've made this statement as well, I've been across this country playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of the places we played at does not have a natural wonder of the world in the backyard that brings millions of people
But
here.
New Orleans doesn't really have shit.
Right.
And they got
But they got
bands
music.
well, you could rent a band
Right.
for $300
Right.
and have a parade
Right.
down Bourbon Street whenever you want.
Right, and that's the
but-
thing about it. Again, that's the parochialism, if that's a word, is that we don't use what we have when it comes down. So music. I've been playing and I'm watching. There's festivals and see what we have here is we have a bunch of bars that hires bands.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of little knick-knack paddywhacks or whatever
Yeah.
that
Little corner
Yeah,
salons.
little corner set up when we put a little band in the corner, get a little stand and try to make something happen. We just have not because let me just put it that way. I stopped over there by on the third street. And to have live music, it felt great.
Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
super great,
I watched a couple videos and one of our Niagara Vox family members, Sam Archie, was over there with Community
Dave
Accountability.
was
Him and
there,
Dave, yeah. I was watching videos. There was people out there dancing and
Right.
singing, and that's that kind of vibe is contagious.
It is.
It's contagious, and when people start to get that good vibe, or you go into a neighborhood where you see somebody, that takes good care of their property, you want to do the same,
Right.
When you get that kind of vibe in the music vibe, and especially with music, because
Right.
music will tame the savage
It will.
beast.
I promise you, it doesn't matter what our world is going through. It doesn't matter if it's a recession, if it's war, if it's loss of life, if it's birth, if it's wedding, if it's death. Regardless of whatever, music is always something that plays a major role in our
Universal
lives.
language.
Right, and so for me, I think so. Even from that aspect, because I understand that music brings a lot of funds as well. Because if you go to Buffalo, now we have a Sal Magley Stadium. I don't know why we have not even entertained that conversation when it comes down to that, because I've seen concerts where they bring bands into baseball stadiums.
August 15th, you're going to see that down there. Summerfest at the Sal.
Summerfest.
We're going to be there.
Now, where's that going to be at again?
Sal Magley Stadium.
At Sal Magley.
Yep.
Yeah.
If
Week
we
from
can-
this Sunday.
And I wish that we need to begin to have these type of events
Yes.
in the city, because
Festivals like the St. John de La Salle.
One
Right.
problem that put a damper on entertainment. I remember growing up, I used to love going to watch wrestling and monster trucks.
We don't have a
We
venue now.
never got the replacement for the
our
convention
No
center.
venue.
Convention Center. We gave it away.
We gave that away, and that was it. It was never replaced. Now we got the conference center, which the conference center is huge.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's not.
It's not
not
the
a
Convention
concert.
Center.
It's not where
It's
you're gonna
not
hold an event
WWF
at.
back
Yeah,
in the
it's
day. I remember that.
large.
All right, guys, we're getting up against the clock here. I want to read a comment here we got from Ohio Barb put on here about the high grass down on Whirlpool. She said if someone dropped in some pod seeds and they grew in the naturalized grass area, then it would probably get cleaned up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an idea we should explore. We should go down there. They're dropping rabies packs off, maybe we should sprinkle a little bit of seeds out there, and
Man.
the
You
Border
trying to
Patrol
get-
camera will get a
You
heat
trying to
signature
get
from
state
it.
a revenue stream off of our grass. That's our grass.
Us.
But yeah, we're getting up against the clock here. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
bring Dante back because we're gonna get into this music stuff and get some festivals going because obviously that's a community event that we need to
Yes.
get people out and get people engaged and talking to each other so we can actually start working together and
Once
get
you
some good
get
ideas.
your fundraisers and your campaign trail squared away, and when you know when your dates are going to be at, it'd be wonderful to have you on here so we can.
Well, we better know when they
it
are
out.
because we should be
yeah,
involved
well,
in it.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
friends
y'all
here,
gonna
you
be
know.
I'm
there.
going to be there, but nobody else wants to be around me just because I'm there.
Oh,
you know?
man, yo, listen.
Well,
That's why you bring the
we're cut
kids.
from a different cloth, brother. We got
Right,
that tough
right,
skin.
right.
And a lot of people don't have that same tough skin. I'm just not gonna
Hey,
soft like baby shit.
All right, Dante, you got any final things you want to come out with?
man, listen. Again, like I said earlier, you know, as it pertains to me in this position, make sure we become let's first of all let's break down the walls of communication through our whole city. I've been saying that for a while now. We need to start talking to each other because a lot of us have the same issues. A lot of us deal with the same problems, but we just don't talk to each other enough to know about these problems. So let's start talking more. Let's get more engaged. You know what I mean? When it comes down, because I know a lot of it, this is campaign season. So that's pretty much all that's being brought to me. No one cares about, you know, have you played here and there? You know, you know me through music. Make sure we become more engaged and let's do away with this apathetic type of thinking and become more empathetic.
Yep.
And come see on Monday nights for the barbecue down at the Salvation Army
Absolutely.
on Buffalo Avenue.
Absolutely.
What is
Buffalo
it,
Avenue.
5 to 6:30?
5 to 6:30. We continuously have, sometimes we even have sausage. So just kind of make sure.
Y'all got liquor?
No liquor.
I'm gonna stay there.
However, you know,
Major Steve
I
won't
don't
allow
think
that
Major
shit.
Carol would care too much
No,
for that. But yeah, come and also check me out Sundays. 5
Black
p.m.
Reality Unscripted.
Black Reality Unscripted. You just never know where I'm gonna be at. The last one I was at
Applebee's broadcast. I was
Absolutely.
in there.
That was
I was
interesting.
watching.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But and I tried it, and that's another thing.
Last few minutes in the car, I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
you
there
know,
go.
hey, there we go. And that's for me to also, when you see, you know, converse with your candidate.
Yeah.
That's not something to just say, oh yeah, you know, look at me. It's one of those things like, if you really got questions, and for those people who may not know who Dante is, please invite them on to view it, because you can ask me anything. There's not a question that can trip me up, and if I don't have an answer, I'll tell you.
It's a great way to open up that line of communication between people that normally wouldn't inbox you.
Right,
You know, like,
right.
Not everybody is us, where we're going to inbox each other.
Right.
3-4 o'clock in the morning with
Right.
some kind of random link. Hey, you looked at this?
Right.
Yeah, face change video.
Yeah, so that's
I do that
basically
shit all the
it,
time.
man. And I appreciate y'all, man, for having me on, and let me know whenever y'all want me back.
You
man.
are
Hey, man,
definitely a
we-
friend of the show, and you're welcome anytime.
Anytime. You always
Thank
got
you.
an open seat in here.
Thank you, bro. I
Same
appreciate
table with me.
Yes,
always.
sir.
Well,
Yes, sir.
Tim.
Yeah, we're
Tim
here
got
in
his
the
own
corner.
table because we need that belly
I
up room.
stink. I stink.
But
All right. Well, we're gonna have we'll have announcements up when Dante's gonna have his fundraisers and events and stuff
Yeah,
that he's gonna be
we're
at. We're
definitely
definitely
gonna
gonna
share
help.
all
I think you'll make a good representative and not a dictator,
Yeah.
which is one of the things I like about you. Is you got 2 ears and 2 eyes for a reason.
That's
and
right.
You only got one mouth because you listen and you watch.
Watch.
more
And
than
twice
you
as
speak.
much
when
as
he
I talk.
needs to.
So
When
okay.
he needs to, he gets on it.
I'ma let you
That's
there.
the important thing.
That's right.
All right.
You got any wise words of wisdom, my friend?
Well, I may not be here for a week or two, depending on what happens. I'm on baby watch. I'm on call. I may be taking an emergency trip to Florida. I am gonna be taking my new little
that little mini
sweet car.
rubber band.
I'm taking
Wind
a road
up
trip
ass
with
car.
her tomorrow. We're going to Ohio for cruise night, but it will be at the car show, Sal Magley Summerfest at the Sal on August 15th. We're opening the doors at 9:30 for the car show attendees. We're going to start at 11 o'clock. Bands will be playing. Solid Food's going to be there. We're going to do podcasts. We're working on getting our podcasts. We're going to be doing podcasts for Niagara
Had to
Fox.
get the
We're all going to
hours.
have us all there.
Hours figured out. Yeah.
It's a good thing it benefits Niagara Falls Fire Department Toy Fund. Obviously, that's a good thing to get into. We got Friday night car shows out at the summit. Lots of things to do, man. People need to get out and enjoy this weather. I know it's going to be a little warm
It's
and
wrapping
muggy
it
next
up.
week.
Yeah.
But you know what? Get out and enjoy it, because in a few short weeks, we're going to be shoveling snow again.
That's right.
Complaining
You
about
already
the
know.
damn snow again. And then
But people, get out and enjoy
complaining
your
about the hot weather. It's too hot.
enjoy
it's too
your
cold.
residents, enjoy your neighbors.
I don't like spinach.
You know, let's get out and get some sunlight, get some exercise, get out and have fun.
Definitely.
That's right.
And that's another that's one thing that people need to understand right now, especially with the new strand, new variant going around. Listen, people, your body needs that vitamin D.
That's right.
And that's very, very important. If you're not supplementing, get out and get in that sun and let it absorb it.
Work your immune systems up.
That's a major
Get a
part
healthy
of
immune
it.
system. It'll help you
Listen,
stay.
I'm
stay
fat,
from
so
getting
I
sick.
collect a lot of sun. That's why you don't see me coughing. I'm not running around. I live on 7th Street. I should be running around like some of the people on 7th Street, but I'm not. Get some sun.
All right, say goodbye. We're out of here.
Let me point out one thing real quick, though. There was a new show started by Mr. Florio called Sabres Mafia.
Yes.
And is that on Monday nights, Dave? Tuesdays?
Oh, we haven't got the definite schedule yet. Still in the
We're
works.
working on the schedule.
Still in the works.
But it's the show is a part of the Niagara Vox family, so please check out Niagara Vox for all upcoming shows. Also, like, share, and subscribe. We'll be adding all this to YouTube. Check us out on YouTube.
Don't forget our contest.
We also have that contest. The 500th like will get a $50 gift certificate from Maloney's. Phenomenal subs. Many
Chantel.
feet. Have a great weekend, people. Talk
Bye,
to you
everybody.
later.
Have a good weekend.
Good night.